Ever since Ryan Murphy's series Monsters, the Lyle and Erik Menendez story dropped on Netflix, the infamous murder case has made headlines every week and created a social media firestorm. And with big names like Kim Kardashian and Rosie O'Donnell pushing for Lyle and Erik's release from prison, I wanted to bring in an expert to cut through all of the TikTok frenzy. Would you please welcome criminal defense attorney Sara Azari. Sara, welcome.
Thank you.
You know, the Menendez brothers, they're this big pop culture phenomenon. They even got a Halloween costume trend. So, if you have people who are caught up in the social media frenzy, can you please tell us what were they actually convicted of?
Yeah, Sherri, so in 1996, this is the second trial, because they went through a first trial, and because of evidence of abuse that came in with respect to their parents abusing them, it was a hung jury on both brothers. The second time they went to trial, they were convicted of first-degree murder with special circumstances. Essentially, they lied in ambush, shot the parents multiple times, and then they engaged in this cover-up and lying, and there was planning. They bought the gun in San Diego. It was one of the most, I'm an Angelino. It was one of the most brutal, heinous murders in LA and in Beverly Hills of all places. So the sentence that they got, life without the possibility of parole, is actually lawful and appropriate at the time for what they did. I mean, it was really bad.
Yeah, okay, so now they're serving their life sentences without the possibility of parole. So you gotta, what kind of chance do they have at freedom, if you could break that down?
They're pursuing three simultaneous paths. So first, they're pursuing resentencing. They're also pursuing setting aside their conviction. And then they're also petitioning Governor Newsom for clemency.
All right.
Now, look, clemency is a murky, lengthy process, if it's even considered, so that's out. Setting aside the conviction, that is highly unlikely. What they're really looking at, the viability of their chance of getting out, really lies on a resentencing. And that's because under California law, if the prosecution recommends resentencing, the sentence is no longer in the interest of justice. The court can set aside that sentence. And so the DA is saying, look, give them 50 to life, because even though we had that Menudo brother, and the letter that popped out, that's really not why the DA is recommending the resentencing. It's really because they were young at the time. They were in their 20s. They are middle-aged men with a very unique set of circumstances that they're not recidivists. They're not going to go out and kill somebody else again. And more importantly, as a society, we have come a long way learning about abuse. That these white privileged boys in Beverly Hills can also be abused. That, abuse can be on men and women. And so because of that, we're no longer in 1996, and they deserve a chance.
Okay, so have they responded to any of the social media stuff that's been going on?
Yeah, actually they both did, although very differently. So Lyle is just sort of eating it all up. Oh, yeah, social media is wanting us released. But Erik's the smart one, because Erik's the one saying, don't underestimate what we did. We're remorseful, we're rehabilitated. And I think that's a smarter position, Sherri, because they're going to go before that man with a black robe in a couple weeks, and he's going to decide their fate.
Okay, so now you got this whole new generation, because they didn't, they're now crushing on Erik and Lyle Menendez. But I understand that they're in long-term relationships. So they're with somebody. So what's going on there?
I mean, they're both taken-ish, and I say that because they're married, but they haven't even had conjugal visits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I don't know what kind of marriage that is, but these women have kept private over the years, and except for recently, they're speaking out. And we have to remember, these guys, it's like the world is their oyster when they get out. They've got all kinds of options and opportunities. So I'm saying their lives are going to take over their wives. I don't think they're going to be around much longer.
I don't know how long they're going to be married. Oh, my God. And they ain't had sex in how many years they been in?
Not sex with them, at least.
Well, not with the wife. Well, okay, that's a whole nother discussion. You got to come back. Now, Kim Kardashian Kim Kardashian said that Lyle and Erik could be freed in 6 months, and their attorney, I believe, is pushing for Thanksgiving. Could that be a reality?
Look, I think our girl Kim K is far more realistic than the lawyers on this case, because the best case scenario, which is what the brothers want, the lawyers want,
right,
is that they get sentenced on manslaughter and get out right away. That ain't happening. Okay. So really what they're looking at is either 25 years to life or 50 to life, which then allows the judge to put that controversial decision on the parole board. The parole board takes 6 months to have a hearing. Right. Then it goes to the governor, who has 30 days to veto or approve. So they ain't coming home, don't call the Uber.
Okay,
they're not
that.
coming home for Thanksgiving.
Okay, I love that you said, it's not 1996, so people are now reviewing what's going on. I wish that worked in everybody's favor in the justice system. But we're going to follow this case closely. So, Sara, thank you so much for being here, and we'll be right back.